This is Suzanne Wagner. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. I hope you are enjoying many of the different things that are out there on my YouTube channel. And one of the things that I do is a daily numerology and astrology with a quote and a blog. And so today, that's what we're doing. And we're doing the day August 31st, 2020. If you add all those numbers together, you actually get the number 16. And if you add the 1 and the 6 together, you get the number 7. The number 7 is the number of the strategist. It is the number of the thinker. It is the person who likes to figure out the best, smoothest strategy. And rather than haphazardly, willy-nilly going in a direction, because they know what they're doing and they have a strategy and a structure and they follow that strategy and structure, the timing of things works out better. The end result is more consistent. And this is a very strong masculine number because it's really about finding that structure. But there is a feminine structure, and the feminine structure is more intuitive, spontaneous, and in the moment. I find that architects, contractors, litigators, people who have to put things together, engineers, have usually a lot of 7s in their numerology in some way because they really like a pattern. They really like to kind of put a structure together. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm a double 7 in my numerology pattern that I do. And so I like the structure of intuition, the things that explain subtle energy. I love astrology, numerology, palmistry, tarot, channeling. And to me, all of those things actually have a structure. And so when people say to me, gosh, you're so incredibly accurate, how do you do that? Well, I'm not looking at a person from one angle. I'm actually looking at them from 3 or 4 or 5 angles. And so if you look at somebody from that many angles, you start to see like the whole pattern or the matrix of the person. And then you can actually anticipate what their choices are going to be and therefore what their future is going to be because you actually see the sequence of their energy and how that pattern will unravel and define itself as it goes on. So the number 7 likes to define things, and it is the self-quest kind of number. I like to think of Frodo climbing Mount Doom, and in The Lord of the Rings, that Frodo as the hero is classically a 7. So he's trying to figure out a structure that he can get the ring to Mordor. And in that, he has to make a million different changes and choices and restructure it and redefine it again and figure it out. And then sometimes have to go with the feminine structure, which is about trusting someone else, listening to your intuition and following that flow. But both the masculine model and the feminine model of the number 7 come from a place where you understand yourself and you can define who you are. So in a moment, if the structure you have put together is not working, you have to surrender and trust and open to a higher structure or a structure that maybe you hadn't contemplated as a possibility. So to be able to do that and to step on a path that does not seem to be as clearly defined but is clearly based on a universal flow requires you knowing actually who you are. So the number 7 to me is really one of those numbers where you get to know yourself more and more. The better you get to know yourself, then the more you trust surrendering in that moment, you trust being spontaneous. This number 7 reminds you that if you are clearly defined in your strategy in life, then there will always be others that want to make you a target for their plans and manipulations. If you know who you are harder to manipulate. It is when you are still locked in the patterns of needing to belong to a group or process that you are vulnerable on a very basic level of consciousness to the manipulation and agenda of others. Belonging is important when you're seeking to define who you are and what values mean the most to you. Once that is established, you step beyond that place and discover your own courage. And then you allow that courage to motivate you further in your journey of self-discovery, because deep down You know who you are. You know where you're going on a much broader, bigger level. The astrology today. All day, we connect on a social rebellion level with the Aquarian moon. It is the reminder that you can be ordinary or extraordinary. You can be conventional or a maverick. This moon points to the need for greater equality and freedoms for the people. Never forget that it is the very normal people that take on things that others see down the road as amazing. They are not perfect people destined for greatness. They are regular people who see something and decide to stand up and do something. Oftentimes, fame is pushed upon them, and they realize once that has happened that they need to be and do better to hold a standard of excellence and to be someone that others look up to. Again, look at all the movie stars. I learned working in Beverly Hills that stars are not born, they are created. The image of a star is created from head to toe, how they dress, what kind of makeup, how they present themselves, what kind of roles they pick. All of those things are help define them. And so you could think of a movie star as a person who is surrounded by a lot of number sevens. So there are a whole bunch of number sevens around them that are saying, well, they should act like this and do like this and behave like this and choose like this. And that is what makes them great. And then once they become great, you can see how there are stars that their characters are they're high and lofty, idealist characters, and yet personally that person actually is very much struggling. And then we have this conflict between what we want to see that person be because of a character that they've played and then actually who that person really is. So I explain this like this because today I want everyone to really look at the fact that within everyone is a hero or a heroine. If every single one of us got the strategists around us that movie stars got, we would have a very refined persona that is shown to the world. And so don't underestimate people that are familiar with media, haven't really clearly, carefully calculated, and are surrounded by people who are telling them how to act, how to behave, and what to say. So again, who are you on the inside, even if you're not perfect? But inside of you, there is still a hero or a heroine. Under the right circumstances and situations, those can and will rise up to lead. That does not mean that you will not feel self-doubt or guilt. That does not mean that problems will not seem to want to thwart your every intention. It just means that you make a choice to be a hero or a heroine and to not stop. To not stop that thing needs to be something that means a lot to you. What is something that means a lot to you right now? Look again at the movies. Love, commitment, agreements, honor, respect, helping the downtrodden. There are things that mean a lot to people, and those are those universal meanings. And over again, all of our movies show that, right? And so are you ready to do something about it? And can you catapult you into another expression of who you really are in this world? Maybe we could find out today. The Sun and Chiron are calling for those that are ready to awaken to serve a greater cause. This could be a powerful moment if you are willing. If it feels as if things are a bit choppy and unsettled, you're also not wrong. Things feel off and unnatural. Do not let this energy make you doubt yourself or your positive convictions. Opportunities are on the other side of doubt. Mercury and Pluto trine, and you want to use this temporary deepening insight to psychologically expand your understanding of who you are right now in this world. Know that there are many that are trying to devise strategies, the number 7, to hide messages, to twist the minds of the weak, to perform atrocities that cripple our world. Don't let yourself be one of them. My quote for today: opportunities are on the other side of doubt. So I wrote this blog as a poem yesterday, and what was happening was that this heavy, dark, death-like energy came in. And being a psychic, I always pay attention to those things. And so, you first start and look at your immediate environment, like everyone okay, everyone okay. Then you go a little further out. Mom okay? Well, mom's maybe not quite okay, but we're working on it, right? But she's 84, So then you keep looking. You kind of keep looking, like, where could this be? And you realize that you can also feel on a global level this massive shift that's happening. So this was the blog that I wrote for that. I felt death come in and stalk me today. Not in a way that I felt fear or dismay, but a check-in of sorts, just letting me know. But know what? I ask. Is it my time to go? It was a hesitation of sorts, a hiccup in time, a warning of something beginning to climb. I remember the lives where I stood my ground. I remember knowing I would not let my soul be bound. I knew the cost of holding truth in times of hate. I knew the deadly reality when you keep open truth's gate. I thanked the angel for letting me know something was coming in, was beginning to grow. I am ready once again, as I have been many times. I can feel the earth shift along the cosmic ley lines. Will you be ready when death stands behind your back? Will you resist or surrender as truth is attacked? I know that life is but a blip in time. What is eternal is my soul's what is eternal is my soul's eternal chime. That song of my soul will be sung millions of times, in millions of realities, regardless of the world's crimes. I sing a song that cannot be stopped. I sing for humanity, for love to adopt. You can kill the body, but never the soul. My song will continue until the world is whole.